Another flip phone has entered the fray, and this time it's the Nubia Flip 5G. So interesting phone. I've been using it for over a week now, and I've got some thoughts on it. So if you're interested in this phone, if it's available in your market, then stay tuned. You might want to watch this video to find out what I think about it. But at face value, it's got a lot of decent things going for it. It's got a premium build design, aluminum body, glass back. It's got Snapdragon 7 Generation 1, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage. It's got the fingerprint scanner built into the power button. It's got a big 6.9-inch screen, and I think it's a unique little phone. So before we get into that, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thank you for being here. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Now, let's talk about the Nubia Flip 5G. Let's take a look at the Nubia Flip up close. So it's got this kind of opalescent design here, which it does have maybe a little bit of soft texture. Like, it's not overly granulated. It's not something where it really feels like it's texturized, but you can see it kind of has that pearlescent, opalescent effect that goes along with it. It has a very flat hinge. It looks very much like the design on like the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4, Z Flip 5. Then you've got the power button here, marked in red, built-in fingerprint scanner, volume rocker, aluminum body. I mean, overall, it seems to be a pretty solid phone. There's no wireless charging, no reverse wireless charging. It does have regular wired charging, of course, at 33 watts, quick charge 4 plus. So you can get 50% charge in about 18 minutes. And that's pretty decent on a 4,310 milliamp battery. It gives you, I think, all day battery, or at least the expectation for that anyway. Stereo speakers, which are actually pretty loud. I wish they had a little bit more depth. Like, the speakers don't have tons and tons of bass built into the native sound, but the volume is there for sure. When it comes to cameras, you've got a 50 megapixel camera on the back. It does have phase detection autofocus, and then you have a 2 megapixel depth sensor. That's going to help out with your portrait shots and things like that. So you don't have a macro, you don't have a telephoto, you don't have an ultra wide. It's basically take a picture and enjoy your enhanced portrait shots. And then on the inside, the selfie camera that we have, 16 megapixel, it records 4K video on the back, and then on the inside you just get 1080p at 30 frames per second. So it's running Android 13. It's running their version of Android, which is pretty stock. I mean, honestly, there wasn't like a ton of bloatware or anything pre-installed on here, which I am grateful for because I didn't have to spend a bunch of time on installing stuff. So that's nice. I'm not sure what their software support is for this. I was looking around, it's not included in the box, so I need to do some more research on that. You got your SIM card tray over here, and then I think it's a nice flat fit design. They did a good job here. There's no SD card support. It has baseline 128 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigs of RAM, and it goes up to 512 and 12 gigabytes of RAM. So that's pretty neat. There's a 1.43-inch OLED cover display here, which of course has like the widgets and stuff. And you can use it to take pictures. So you can use the camera, gives you the weather, control your music, look at your calendar. You've got your pedometer, timer, all sorts of different things on there. So that's neat. You can see it's nice and bright, centered on the phone. I kind of like that. I think it's neat. It also helps save on the battery because when you can access stuff out here, you don't have to open up your phone. So it kind of gives you like your little notifications and things you can control out there. And of course, a better quality selfie using the primary camera, which you can use with this as well. So that's nice. It's 214 grams, so about half a pound, which I think is pretty fair. It's not the lightest in the world. It definitely has some heft to it, but it feels like it's built well. Like, it doesn't feel cheap. It's dual SIM. It has a nano SIM capability, 6.9-inch screen. So this is a 27 by 90 and 1188 display with 21 by 9 ratio. So I think it's got a nice complementary design here, 120 hertz refresh rate, which is super important for anything these days. And then it's an OLED as well. So that's something that's nice there. Up to 1 billion colors, foldable OLED screen. And it came out actually in April. So it just came out like a month ago. It got released on April 23rd. So overall, cool stuff. Let's take a look inside the box. If I can get this. There we go. So it's nice. It comes with everything in here. Here's the Christmas wrapping that was on the paper, that was on the phone when I took it out. Snapdragon 7 Generation 1, Mine's actually the 256 model, so that's nice. 4310, whenever it comes to the battery, 50 megapixel AI dual camera, and the 6.9-inch Full HD AMOLED 120 hertz. See what else we got in here. So inside this box, we have the charger. So you get a nice charging brick. It's international. And this is not something that's really available in the US. I think you can get it through like AliExpress or whatever. So if you're in the international market, then you've got a good charger. So that's nice. Close that box back up. And then in this box, we have our charging cable, which is a USB Type-C to USB Type-C. So that's nice and convenient. And then right here, we have all our other goodies. It has a built-in case. Well, not a built-in case, but it has a free case that it comes with. So we'll take a look at that here in a second. We've got your SIM ejector tool, and then we've got your book, which actually, this is probably one of the best, most comprehensive, high-quality books of documentation, but it's in so many languages. It looks like it's something that would be helpful, but in reality, it's really not. It's just like legal stuff that they have to put in there. Let's see if I can get this clear case out of here. I always love whenever these companies put cases in and it's frosted. That's nice too. It says Nubia on the back here. So I appreciate that. Nice frosted case. One of the biggest complaints I have about these clear cases is they pick up oils and fingerprints, and you're not going to see that here, and it's got a decent texture. It really makes it feel kind of high quality, makes it easier to find the power button. When you don't have a case on this thing, it makes it really hard to find the power button. I'm just going to say I would think I was pressing, I would have my finger rested on it and all that jazz, and it just seemed like it would never ever hit it the way it was supposed to. And then, like I said, 50 megapixel camera. Here's a few shots that I took with it, just so you can see what they look like. The thing is, these days, like, as long as you have ample lighting, like if you've got decent lighting and you've got a decent subject, you're going to be able to take a decent shot with most cameras. I mean, this has no telephoto, has no ultra wide, no macro, no telescopic telephoto. It's not the highest quality stuff, but it does take decent photos if you need it to. It's not super oversaturated. And I think there's a good balance here. And that depth sensor that it has will really help out in the portrait shot department to help you get better portrait shots. So really, it's just geared towards carried around, foldable, all-day battery, decent power and some punch to do what you need to get done. Not insanely expensive because it's not a $1,000 flip phone. And yeah, everything in the box. So that's pretty much all I got on this, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully this has been an interesting experience with some learning and insight on a new phone whenever you decide, if you decide you want to pick one up. And it's about 600 euro is what it should cost you outside the US market, but definitely shop around. Maybe check eBay, especially here in the United States, maybe AliExpress, see if you can find a deal or a sale on it at some point. So that's all I've got on the Nubia Flip 5G. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If this is something you're interested in, if you like flip phones and you just like to learn about the latest and greatest and all the stuff that's out there, this is another one to add to your list. I think they've done some interesting things here. They've been bold with it. They've taken some liberties with how they did the design. Of course, it's got the unique circular screen and housing on the back. It's got a nice big screen. It's fairly bright, 120 hertz refresh rate, plenty of power. And this is the same thing you're going to find in like the Motorola Razr that we got this last year. I mean, I think the Snapdragon 7 Generation 1, plenty of power. It's a good balance between day-to-day performance, but also battery life. You get all-day battery, at least I think so anyway, for most normal things. And then they've got the screen protector built in. They've got the case that came with it. You get all the stuff you need out of the box. It's got Snapdragon sound. It's got DTS, all that great stuff. So they picked and choose where they put some of the emphasis in this phone. But as far as a daily driver, if you want to get something, because here's the thing, most of the big flagship foldable phones out there, they're all like $1,899 still. So to be able to save a couple $100, especially if you're not in the US, this gives you some different options and alternatives to look at. And yeah, I mean, it's not a $1,000 phone. So there are some trade-offs and things that they have there. But overall, I've been impressed with it. I do think the screen is nice and bright. I think that it's got some decent haptic feedback. I think the crease, it's there just like everybody else, but it's there. It's here to compete, and it's nice to see another player enter the game, so to speak. So that's all I got. If you have any questions or comments, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.